Hi, I'm Captain Grant Coppin with Texas Fishing Tips, and this is your weekly fishing report.
All right, guys, back in action. I gotta tell you, the tide has been extremely low. So that does not put very much fish in the flats. That puts them all on the drop off. So right here south of Peta, we've been getting good trout early in the morning. If you get over here quick enough before all the boats, you can get a quick limit. Remember, it's three per person, 17 to 23. Croaker's been working best. Um, we have been seeing some drum out in the deeper waters. So if you're going to look for the drum, just go out there, kind of cruise around the drop off, and you'll see those big pods of drum just kind of slow moving through here with no wind and no current. Those fish are quick to retreat to the drop off and even further. So get out here to the grass edge and you'll find those trout. And then after you've done with your trout, if you want to chase the drum around a little bit, put your trolling motor down and just move up and down this grass line. Anywhere from here all the way down to Pure Oil into Emirates, I've been seeing them a little bit, but really right around in this area here, I've been seeing a lot of big pods of them. And you don't realize they're here when you're fishing for them or when you're trout fishing. But once you put the trolling motor down, you start going. You see one, you see two, and you see a pod, and then all of a sudden you see an acre of them, and they're just sitting there right under the surface. What I've been throwing at them is a chartreuse jig head with a piece of peeled shrimp on it, and pretty much just the apple in front of the horse technique, kind of let it sink real slow in front of their face and then kind of jerk it up and then let it sink down again. Black drum are blind as bats, so they're not very good at finding something, but they can smell real good. So once they're locked into it, they're going to come by and they're going to catch that shrimp. Down here in the ICW, once if I don't get my trout, my second retreat is going to the ICW. There's bait all up and down it. I've just been hitting some of these little side channels, little cutoffs and drains. They've been producing because again, there's no water in the flat and it's hot, and those fish are quick to retreat off the edges and get down here in the ditch in the ICW. Hit these little sand pockets on the side. Don't try to kill the world in one spot because that's not going to happen. But what is going to happen is you can stop at every little pinch, every little gut along the ICW, all these little sand scars and holes and places up and down just south of the causeway, and find good fish. Maybe pick up one or two good fish, maybe pick up a flounder, maybe even get lucky and pick up some redfish, because I did that the other day. I got lucky and was chasing my last couple of trout that I needed, and I caught two redfish. So you'll never know what you're gonna run into, but you're gonna find tons of bait. You're gonna find good water clarity, and you're gonna find protection from the wind, which has been non-existent the past couple of days. So we've kind of been lucky there. Um, a week and a half ago, it was blowing 30 every day. Now it's blowing 5 every day. So, a little bit change in conditions, but the tide is still extremely, extremely low. So be careful as you're running south, because a lot of the fish, I'm sorry, the edges are very exposed, and if you get out of the ICW just a little bit, you will run aground. So just be careful about that low tide. Up here in the north end of Nighthawk, been finding some good redfish on gold spoons. This is also an early morning bite. Tend to come in here right on the back side of these islands and catch good redfish. Try to be careful right now because that tide's low, and if you don't have a shallow running boat, it's hard to get up in here, which I have a problem getting up in here in my Mamba, but I still come up here, and if I got just 2 or 3 people, I can do it. So just come back here, throw some gold spoons early, maybe a top water if the grass isn't too bad, and catch a few redfish. So I came over here on the back side of Starvation the other day, and man, there's a ton of bait back here, and there's a lot of good fish. You kind of gotta just come back here and put the trolling motor down and work these edges. You know, um, there's this is good wind protection, but like I said, there's not a whole lot of wind right now, so you don't have to worry about that too much. But Starvation Point's a good place to come right now. Also, this shoreline, just a little bit west of East Clayburg, we've been catching some redfish on here with cut bait, cut skipjack, and cut mullet. Um, when I'm fishing for the redfish, I like there to be a little breeze. And so when I come around to Starvation and I start getting on this shoreline here, hopefully by then the afternoon breeze is picked up. You know, usually what happens, and we're in that summertime pattern in the doldrums. Um, the the early morning is gut slick calm, and then by 10, 11, 12 o'clock, when it's nice and hot, we get just a little bit of that southeast breeze coming, and it puts a little bit of water movement on this shoreline. And I can throw cut bait right along the shore and catch a few redfish to put in with my trout. Over here on the tide gauge bar, the outside of the tide gauge has been really good right now. Um, you can wade pretty much the entire thing without getting knocked over by waves, which was, 2 weeks ago. It was just kind of hard to fish unless you were wade fishing. But this is a place that everybody loves to wade fish, and it's a nice hard packed sand bottom, and you can wade fish it with croaker and pretty much do good. If you're not catching anything, just walk down 100 yards, and you're gonna walk into some fish. You're gonna catch some fish, probably get a flounder or two. Uh, but right here along the tide gauge is just a prime time summertime spot. So get in here early. Once you get your 3/17, get back to the boat, go find you some redfish or some black drums somewhere. And also, there's been some little puppy drums, so bring a bag of dead shrimp with you because you can throw up on top of the bar. Even though there's not a whole lot of water on it, just throw up in about 8, 10, 12 inches of water. Throw in those potholes and catch those little puppy drum.
Grant Coppin, thanks for watching.